Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're still with us on Cruise Zone. I'm Djaji Prime, and alongside me is Dan Akins. This evening, we have a group that is taking Nigeria by storm and leading a new blend of high life music. Of course, we're talking of none other than the Cavemen. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Good evening.
Evening.
So we've got Benjamin and Kingsley, and they are the four band members, with Kingsley being the lead singer and the guitarist, and Benjamin being the drummer. Are we right?
And the lead singer.
Lead singer.
So there are two
and
lead singers.
Oh,
okay.
All right. So first off, congrats on your Headies Awards.
Thank you so much.
How did it feel, winning the alternative album category?
I mean, it feels great because, what it feels like to me personally is that, this music that we're doing is a risk that we're taking, you know what I mean? So having an award for it, is just proof to us that we are following the right steps. So it feels good, man. It feels good, so good.
You mentioned it being a risk just before we hopped on air. We talked about how we've come across each other. I've watched you guys perform severally. So let's take a step back. You're getting a lot of recognition now. So we were watching your performance at TEDx. But how did you get here? What's the journey been like? Like, how did you two even meet to begin with?
So the first things first is that we are brothers. I'm
Okay.
sure everybody's aware of it. So how we met is from womb. We done this together. So, I think I lost my train of thought here.
The origin story, basically.
Origin story. So just growing up, we've been playing music, and it's what we're doing now. So that's basically it. There's nothing else.
But I'm sure then it was like just kids exploring their creative side.
Not necessarily.
So it's always been, you've taken it seriously.
Yeah, from the beginning, man.
And your family was aware and encouraged it?
Yeah.
Do they have a background in music or?
Nope.
So you guys are like the lucky exception.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now, for you now, Kingsley. I've watched you guys perform live. And we've seen videos, and that sort of synergy is there. Like, without even communicating, that synergy is there. You said you guys, played music together growing up, but has this synergy been there all along, or is something that you guys had to sort of build over a period of time?
We're brothers. So, growing up, the same experiences, the same, flogging, the same celebrations, experiencing all that, synergy won't be overemphasized. It's natural to us, it's automatic. I don't have to look at my brother to do some things, like, we already know what's happening. Sometimes our minds go ahead of us, that we're surprised by the level of synergy. So
You guys are already completing ideas in your head.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right, and before we move into like particular music specifically, let's talk about this the Ruth project. The Ruth project is kind of like the project that everybody kind of just heard, yes, okay, the Cavemen arrived, high life is here again, So, like, what was the the whole story behind Root itself? We'll still get into like specific music, but like, what was the whole story behind Root itself?
There was a void, and this music we've always wanted to listen to. We've always wanted to see high life in that, mainstream light. Maybe not mainstream, but like to proper recognition. So, it was just out of that need that Roots came. Like, we're telling everybody, hey, this can be something. This is like this is where we came from. So I mean that's really it. That's really it.
So it seems like you guys have a special, maybe obligation you feel to high life music. Did it form a part of your upbringing, or what kind of music were you guys listening to at home when you were young and practicing even?
High life. So my father used to play, the Osondu bass. My mom used to play the Christian, Chama Jesus, and my driver used to play Oliver the Coco, Kawin. So it's part of like our upbringing. That's what we grew up listening to. So we'll go to school. Me personally, I'll go to my class, and then my classmates are talking about like the Tetwila or Isabukari. I'm like, what are these people talking about? You know what I mean?
So you went in the pop realm.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what we grew up listening to.
But then it's really interesting that you guys have been able to blend like more, contemporary Nigerian pop with high life. So how did you creatively come about that balance?
I mean, when I started producing, I started off with the Ninja stuff. So it was and I mean, I'm a bass player, we play live a lot, so I just needed that balance. I shared it with my brother. I shared the idea with my brother, and we came to that point where we're like, yeah, this works. It's just for the people to listen now and get the vibe. So I think that's what Fela did at his time too. In Fela's time, it was predominantly high life.
Yeah.
But he went to Trinity, studied classical music, but was doing jazz in the streets. Right? So he brought that contemporary experience to Nigeria at the time. He was doing strictly jazz. Then his music was questioned a lot. Then he now kind of found a way to now merge high life and jazz, jazz and funk, to what he called Afrobeats. Afrobeat, yes. So that was very relatable at the time. So yeah, it was just that kind of experience for us to, merging that our present experience with what has been there ever since. Yeah.
And talking about infusing different styles, you've worked with a wide range of artists. You've worked with SDC, talking about Show Them Camp. You've worked with Insika David. That song, Dance for that's probably one of my favorites, recent songs from you guys. So how the feeling, you guys have always talked about the cave. How different is it, working with together, both of you, and then bringing other artists into that sort of atmosphere, that cave atmosphere? What's the big difference?
Man, I don't know. It's just nice to see. We always love to experiment, and every time we have the opportunity to collaborate with people, it's always nice to see. So like, I mean, regarding collaborations, you just gotta expect more. It'll definitely get better. Like, you're all going to be surprised what sounds, you're gonna be hearing soon. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
So are we should we be hoping to see international, not just Nigerian like international collaborations as well?
Of course,
definitely.
High life to the world.
Yes,
Absolutely.
So Dan was talking about specific songs. I'm sure you guys have explained these songs extensively, but there are a couple songs that really stand out to me. Osondu, I think, is like a powerful song. I think that's why it's resonated with so many people. But the first time I saw you guys perform that song was in 2017 or 18, I think. I think it was 2017. I think it was 18 then.
17 was when we went to the Marina.
Yeah, but we're in Tamil.
No, I saw it at Freedom Park.
Yeah, 18.
18. So
January.
January. So from that day, that song actually gripped me. I remembered recording it. But you've kind of kept that song with you. What does that song mean to you guys, both individually and for those who don't know, what is the actual meaning and story behind that record?
When you're going on your journey don't look back. You know, it's the race of life. In the race of life, you always have to learn to, you know, cross your hurdle and keep moving. You know, you can't relent, especially if you want to be, you know, successful. You know, so that's really what the song's about. You know, in the bridge of the song, it's a prayer to your higher self or whatever you believe in. You know, in my case, God. You know, just telling God to guide us, you know, in our journey, you know, in life. Because as human beings, there's only an extent we can know. You know, there's a lot we don't know. There are a lot of mysteries. So that song is from frustration. It's just like, man, God, my life is in your hands. Just
but it's almost prophetic though, because you kept with the song.
Yeah, very prophetic. As in, we always say that the song was given to us because.
Did you write it jointly?
Yeah, wrote it jointly. Yeah,
and it was actually frustrating. That song, you know, it took like how many years to make
2 years.
that one song?
Wow.
2 years.
very
2
strong.
years to make that one song.
Just that one
Very
song.
strong.
Oh
Song.
wow.
Took a lot from us.
Okay, so another song that I think a lot of people love, and I personally
You love that song. You love
come
it
on,
too.
don't call me out like that. Talking about Anita. So, who's Anita? What's the inspiration? What was happening?
Come on, Anita na cruise.
That's why he relates to it, because
this is the cruise on.
Cruise. Yeah,
There's no real Anita. It's just we wrote the song just practicing together.
yeah, very fictional.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So,
Character.
but there's a like melancholy and a longing. Like there has to be something real there.
Of course, as young boys now, you got many girls, you know, fondling with your heart, and we got us fondling with hearts too. So, I mean, it's just that longing for love, you know. That's how.
Where's my sugar, bitch? Okay, so you've actually touched on your you guys working together to develop songs. What is the creative process like? Is it a jam session? Is it one of you gets inspired and runs to the other, like you have this idea? Like, how do you guys develop your music?
First of all, we don't run.
You don't run?
No,
We don't run to each other.
No, but I mean, this is in different ways, you know. Mostly dreams.
Dreams.
Yes. Sometimes jam sections, like I and my brother, we practice a lot together. So
Oh.
just play, and then sometimes it's usually sound check. You know,
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
a melody being played, or I play a beat, and then it goes with it. But majorly, our creative process is just dreams, and he tells me or I tell him that see the vibes.
Okay.
And for musicians, your voice notes is your bank.
Always.
Okay, so you just record random stuff at random
Yeah,
times.
that's
Yeah.
like the bank. You
Always.
know, you know how rich a musician is by the amount of stuff you have
This is
in
what
your
we're
voice
talking
notes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
I
long
don't know if
list of
that's
recordings.
like 200 recordings plus.
And
Wow.
this I've transferred to my laptop already. This is
Damn.
just from
Wow.
like a few months now.
And okay, talking about you know, where your inspirations come from. I've seen you play the drums without anybody. It's just you, the drums, and melodies. Where does that come from? Because I'm amazed by it. I'm a drummer, but I don't think I've ever gotten to that level.
So the way I see it, like for drumming, is is dimensional for me. To be very honest with you, I sit there, I'm gone. So in what I believe in is the Holy Spirit. So once that takes over, it's over, bro. I'm just traveling through portals and dimensions and just moving. And then when I'm done with it, I'm up and I'm like,
What
just
happened?
What just happened? So that's basically it. So you probably will get there.
I don't know if you guys have actually referred to your music in this way, but could you explain what Green and Boot music is?
And Brain and Booty?
Is it Brain and Boot?
Brain and Booty.
Okay, what's that?
When I'm booty, mental and dancing.
Okay, Brain and
So the
Booty.
music is very musical. Like if you actually think, like listen properly,
Mm.
very musical with our music.
Yeah.
But it's still very dancey, so
Definitely.
and catchy.
Not to, but like, there's a level of depth in your music, like, but you still maintain this kind of like life goes on vibe. So, philosophically, where do you guys lie? Are you guys more stoic, or are you guys just like, journeying through life and taking it as it is? Or
Yeah, we believe music is spiritual, and we just want to make people happy, feel better, because as Africans, there's a lot we're going through. There's a lot we go through naturally as Africans. So like, we're here to just say, okay, man, this is our problem. We will solve our problem, but like, let's just stay inspired. Let's just stay happy. As much as we can be happy, because we can't be happy every time. So, we have music for that happiness. We have music for meditation to help you relax. We believe high life is totally therapeutic because it has a combination of nostalgia and experiences. It's like you are familiar with a place, but you've never been there before. Yeah, so that's really
All right. So your big bang came in a very, very weird year. Talking about 2020, the coronavirus period, and for an artist, there's just this bottom line: money must be made. And for artists performing live performances, it's kind of like the major way to bring in money. But how's it been, navigating that water in a very, very strange year? Having to do a lot of things virtually.
Yeah, virtual concerts and of this one.
Financially during the corona times.
Not necessarily financially, but how have you adapted to the times?
Definitely. You would always adapt. We're human beings. Definitely adapt. But it was weird because we were expected to really tour, internationally. But locally we did, unconsciously, unplanned. And for us it was God trying to show us that you still have more to do. So in the space of that, we made more music. So
you're telling us to expect like amazing stuff.
Yeah, by God's grace.
Okay. And okay, real quickly, right? Just to digress a little bit from music. Now let's talk about your style, in terms of fashion, right? And for you, Kingsley, you have this hat thingy that you wear. How many of these do you have?
A lot. A lot. My sister makes them.
Oh wow, really?
Sister, yeah.
Nice. But how did this? Where did it come from?
So actually,
and the reason why I'm asking, because I know you went to law school,
yes.
right? And I'm sure I know I know the way it is in law school is like the white and black, but then now you have this.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Man, it was first. This hat was first made for this guy, but he didn't like it.
No, I just stopped wearing it.
He just stopped
and picked it up.
But he stopped wearing what you don't like. Anyways, so I picked it up and yes.
So March is Women's Month.
Yeah.
And we know women are the most important people we can have in our lives.
Yeah.
Would you mind sharing with us some women that inspire you?
Ooh. Asha.
Angelique Kidjo.
Okay.
Ugu Sangori.
Most importantly for me is my mom.
My mom.
Our mom.
Our mom. It goes with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The female side of God. The female side of Jesus.
Okay, we're gonna have a session after this, so you can explain that to us.
So just a couple more questions before we wrap up. I don't know if you guys mind talking about Lady Donli. I know that you guys were kind of involved in the creative process for Enjoy Your Life, kind of. I mean, you guys can explain it more to us, but you guys have that carefree vibe. It was present a lot on that, and even in your music. Could you speak briefly on what it was like developing that album?
It was good. Lady Donli is somebody who really believes in us, from day one, So it was exciting working on that project with her, producing more than 10 songs, on that project. And Yeah, it was sort of a learning process for us. It was an experimental process for us, and we're glad that it made sense.
That was mad.
Yeah. Well, quickly before we have to let you go. How are you guys going to maintain this momentum? It's massive, and what can we expect next? I mean, you've said it. Expect good stuff, but give us a little bit of details.
I mean, we'll keep doing. That's the thing. We'll keep working. We'll keep believing. We'll keep learning. Just experiencing stuff. Obviously expect growth. Expect different things. Yeah, still on the foundation of high life.
Expect second album.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
So
that one is spicy.
definitely. But even just last question. You guys talk a lot about staying true to yourselves. Do you have any advice for people who might currently be struggling with who they are? Like, how do people stay true to who they are?
A good intention will find a home.
Mm-hmm.
So just maintain your intention. Keep the intention right. For musicians, always know music is spiritual. You can't joke with music. So just keep doing what feels right to you.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it's been amazing having you guys here.
Yes.
Kingsley, Benjamin. Do you want to give us something?
No.
Well, it's been amazing having you guys with us on Cruise Zone here on Radio Now 95.3 FM.
Thank you guys for having us.
Really
Yeah,
appreciate
We
it.
really do appreciate it, and we really do support you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay Cavey.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.